The Jerusalem Bible, Genesis chapter 6. When men had begun to be plentiful on the earth, and daughters had been born to them, the sons of God, looking at the daughters of men, saw that they were pleasing. So they married as many as they chose. Yahweh said, "My spirit must not forever be disgraced in man, for he is but flesh. His life shall last no more than 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth at that time, and even afterwards, when the sons of God resorted to the daughters of man, and had children by them. These are the heroes of days gone by, the famous men. Yahweh saw that the wickedness of man was great on the earth, and that the thoughts in his heart fashioned nothing but wickedness all day long. Yahweh regretted having made man on the earth, and his heart grieved. I will rid the earth's face of man, my own creation, Yahweh said, and of animals also, reptiles too, and the birds of heaven, for I regret having made them. But Noah had found favor with Yahweh. This is the story of Noah. Noah was a good man, a man of integrity among his contemporaries, and he walked with God. Noah became the father of 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth grew corrupt in God's sight and filled with violence. God contemplated the earth. It was corrupt, for corrupt were the ways of all flesh on the earth. God said to Noah, "The end has come of all things of flesh. I have decided this, because the earth is full of violence of man's making, and I will efface them from the earth. Make yourself an ark out of resinous wood. Make it with reeds, and line it with pitch, inside and out. This is how to make it. The length of the ark is to be 300 cubits, its breadth 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a roof for the ark. Put the door of the ark high up in the side, and make a first, second, and third deck. For my part, I mean to bring a flood and send the waters over the earth, to destroy all flesh on it, every living creature under heaven. Everything on earth shall perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you must go on board the ark, yourself, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives along with you. From all living creatures, from all flesh, you must take 2 of each kind aboard the ark, to save their lives with yours. They must be a male and a female. Of every kind of bird, of every kind of animal, and of every kind of reptile on the ground, 2 must go with you, so that their lives may be saved. For your part, provide yourself with edibles of all kinds, and lay in a store of them, to serve as food for yourself and them." Noah did this. He did all that God had ordered him. The Jerusalem Bible, Genesis chapter 7. Yahweh said to Noah, "Go aboard the ark, you and all your household, for you alone among this generation do I see as a good man in my judgment. Of all the clean animals, you must take 7 of each kind, both male and female. Of the unclean animals, you must take 2, a male and its female. And of the birds of heaven also, 7 of each kind, both male and female, to propagate their kind over the whole earth. For in 7 days' time I mean to make it rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. And I will rid the earth of every living thing that I made." Noah did all that Yahweh ordered. Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters appeared on the earth. Noah with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives boarded the ark to escape the waters of the flood. of the clean animals and the animals that were not clean, of the birds and of all that crawls on the ground, 2 of each kind boarded the ark with Noah, a male and a female, according to the order God gave Noah. 7 days later, the waters of the flood appeared on the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, and on the 17th day of that month, that very day, all the springs of the great deep broke through, and the sluices of heaven opened. It rained on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights. That very day, Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, boarded the ark with Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons, and with them wild beasts of every kind, cattle of every kind, reptiles of every kind that crawls on the earth, birds of every kind, all that flies, everything with wings. One pair of all that is flesh and has the breath of life boarded the ark with Noah. And so there went in a male and a female of every creature that is flesh, just as God had ordered him. And Yahweh closed the door behind Noah. The flood lasted 40 days on the earth. The waters swelled, lifting the ark until it was raised above the earth, The waters rose and swelled greatly on the earth. After 150 days, the waters fell, and in the 7th month, the earth, so that all the highest mountains under the whole of heaven were submerged. The waters rose 15 cubits higher, submerging the mountains. And so all things of flesh perished that moved on the earth, birds, cattle, wild beasts, everything that swarms on the earth, and every man. Everything with the breath of life in its nostrils died, everything on dry land. Yahweh destroyed every living thing on the face of the earth, man and animals, reptiles, and the birds of heaven. He rid the earth of them, so that only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. The waters rose on the earth for 150 days. The Jerusalem Bible, Genesis chapter 8. But God had Noah in mind, and all the wild beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. God sent a wind across the earth, and the waters subsided. The springs of the deep and the sluices of heaven were stopped. Rain ceased to fall from heaven. The waters gradually ebbed from the earth. And after 150 days, the waters fell. And in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters gradually fell until the 10th month, when on the 1st day of the 10th month, the mountain peaks appeared. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the porthole he had made in the ark, and he sent out the raven. This went off and flew back and forth until the waters dried up from the earth. Then he sent out the dove to see whether the waters were receding from the sluices of the earth, Then he sent out the dove to see whether the waters were receding from the surface of the earth. The dove, finding nowhere to perch, returned to him in the ark, for there was water over the whole surface of the earth. Putting out his hand, he took hold of it and brought it back into the ark with him. After waiting 7 more days, again he sent out the dove from the ark. In the evening, the dove came back to him, and there it was with a new olive branch in its beak. So Noah realized that the waters were receding from the earth. After waiting 7 more days, he sent out the dove, and now it returned to him no more. It was in the 601st year of Noah's life, in the first month, and on the first of the month, that the water dried up from the earth. Noah lifted back the hatch of the ark and looked out. The surface of the ground was dry. In the second month, and on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. Then God said to Noah, "Come out of the ark, you, yourself, your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives with you. As for all the animals with you, all things of flesh, whether birds or reptiles or animals that crawl on the earth, bring them out with you. Let them swarm on the earth. Let them be fruitful and multiply on the earth." So Noah went out with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. And all the wild beasts, all the cattle, all the birds, and all the reptiles that crawl on the earth went out from the ark, one kind after another. Noah built an altar for Yahweh, and choosing from all the clean animals and all the clean birds, he offered burnt offerings on the altar. Yahweh smelled the appeasing fragrance and said to himself, "Never again will I curse the earth because of man, because his heart contrives evil from his infancy. Never again will I strike down every living being, and as I have done. As long as earth lasts, sowing and reaping, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall cease no more." The Jerusalem Bible, Isaiah 54:1 through 55:5. Shout for joy, you barren women who bore no children. Break into cries of joy and gladness, you who were never in labor. For the sons of the forsaken one are more in number than the sons of the wedded wife, says Yahweh. Widen the space of your tent. Stretch out your hangings freely. Lengthen your ropes. Make your pegs firm. For you will burst out to right and to left. Your race will take possession of the nations and people the abandoned cities. Do not be afraid. You will not be put to shame. Do not be dismayed. You will not be disgraced. For you will forget the shame of your youth and no longer remember the curse of your widowhood. For now your Creator will be your husband. His name, Yahweh SABBATH. Your Redeemer will be the Holy One of Israel. He is called the God of the whole earth. Yes, like a forsaken wife, distressed in spirit, Yahweh calls you back. Does a man cast off the wife of his youth, says your God? I did forsake you for a brief moment, but with great love will I take you back. In excess of anger, for a moment I hid my face from you. But with everlasting love I have taken pity on you, says Yahweh your Redeemer. I am now as I was in the days of Noah, when I swore that Noah's waters should never flood the world again. So now I swear concerning my anger with you, and the threats I made against you. For the mountains may depart, the hills be shaken, but my love for you will never leave you, and my covenant of peace with you will never be shaken, says Yahweh, who takes pity on you. Unhappy creature, storm-tossed, disconsolate, see, I set your stones on carbuncles, and your foundations on sapphires. I will make rubies your battlements, your gates crystal, and your entire wall precious stones. Your sons will all be taught by Yahweh. The prosperity of your sons will be great. You will be founded on integrity, remote from oppression. You will have nothing to fear, remote from terror. It will not approach you. Should anyone attack you, that will not be my doing. And whoever attacks you, for your sake, will fall. I it was created the smith who blows on the coal fire and from it takes the weapons to work on. But I also created the destroyer who renders them useless. Not a weapon forged against you will succeed. Every tongue that accuses you in judgment will be refuted. Such will be the lot of the servants of Yahweh. The triumphs I award him. It is Yahweh who speaks. Isaiah chapter 55. Oh, come to the waters, all of you who are thirsty. Though you have no money, come, buy corn without money, and eat, and at no cost wine and milk. Why spend money on what is not bread, your wages on what fails to satisfy? Listen to me, and you will have good things to eat and rich food to enjoy. Pay attention, come to me, listen, and your soul will live. With you I will make an everlasting covenant out of the favors promised to David. See, I have made of you a witness to the peoples, a leader and a master of the nations. See, you will summon a nation you never knew. Those unknown will come hurrying to you for the sake of Yahweh your God, of the Holy One of Israel, who will glorify you. The Jerusalem Bible, 1 Peter 3:18 through 22. Christ himself died once for all for sins, the upright for the sake of the guilty, to lead us to God. In the body he was put to death, in the spirit he was raised to life, and in the spirit he went to preach to the spirits in prison. They refused to believe long ago, while God patiently waited to receive them in Noah's time when the ark was being built. It is only a few, that is 8 souls, were saved through water. It is the baptism corresponding to this water which saves you now, not the washing off of physical dirt, but the pledge of a good conscience given to God through the resurrection of Jesus Christ, who has entered heaven and is at God's right hand with angels, ruling forces, and powers subject to him.